It's your boy Titi Japan back with another episode of ATAS across time and space. Got the music playing.
Yeah,
Brother Ace. Over here on Cross Culture, I'm allowing him to introduce himself, even though he desires. No, wait.
Desires? What are my desires? Tell the people what my desires are.
I don't know if he desires an introduction, but I allow him to introduce himself every time. He doesn't need it. But does he desire one? Go ahead.
I don't know about desiring one, but you already know it's your boy Ace of Cross Culture. We're back with another episode of ATAS number 73. Yeah. Had to mix it up a little bit. Make sure y'all on your counting game real quick.
Did I was fumbling and mumbling, man. But yeah, it's good to be back. We're over here on episode 73, as you said. Yeah, I mean, you guys might have missed us. You know, it's been a 2-week hiatus. How you doing? How have you been in the interim? What's going on over there on the West Coast? We're on the East Coast of Japan. What's going on the West Coast?
East Coast of Japan to the West Coast of the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, things have been a little crazy at work, you know, how it always is. A little bit of stress here and there, but I'm alive, and that's a blessing. I have to see it.
That is a blessing. Well,
what about you over there on the East Coast of Japan?
I've been seeing folks all over the place, man. Just folks are coming out. They're coming out the woodwork, back to to the land of the rising sun. Some returning that's been here before. Others coming here for the first time. And it's good. It's good to see folks and have a drink of lemonade. That's what's in my cup today. This
okay.
Lemonade. This plug is not sponsored by Ito Ito. But it's some really good lemonade. What's in your cup?
You already know my cup. Always water. Always water.
Okay. Well, hey. Delish.
Yes. Refreshing.
Yeah. Another thing that's refreshing is the number of uploads that have been sent out there on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts at this point. I was gonna say Google Podcasts, but I hear that they're changing it, or they're getting rid of Google Podcasts and sending it all over to YouTube Music.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
I know. Well, I don't know. Like, I let me ask the audience, because we already got the audience in the building. We got 2, 3, 4 people already rolling in already, and they're saying for the first one. Right? The first one in the room gets a shout out like that, right? If somebody else signs in and says "hey" first in the comment section, then I'll go ahead and do a different gesture for them. But the first one in the building is the WPL, and we got the most professional introductions as of late. Yeah, it feels good. It feels real good. We also got Mr. Jehudi. Jehudi's in the building. Yes, thank you. It's good to hear you. Good to see you, sir. All right. And the party's just getting started. So I'm gonna set that right there and roll over into chapter 5 of Disrupting the Game. Now, if you guys are following along on Scribd, I heard there's some news about Scribd recently, but it might be a non-Samsung issue, so I have no idea what's going on. Have you heard? Yeah. Have you heard things about Scribd moving its audiobooks to another platform?
Nothing at all. So I hope that's not the case, because I know that the next books that I wanted to do aren't even available on Scribd, which is rare, because they have a very big library. Mm-hmm. But if Scribd calls themselves moving to something else, then that becomes a problem, because that's the one that we're, using the most.
Yeah. So, the article said, was it an article? Was it a website? Like, it's one of those sites that's reviewing Script, and they said that they'll be moving their audio to something called like Everstream or Ever something, Everstrand. I don't know.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, just moving all the audio part over there, and then keeping the PDFs and literature on Script because it's, that's their core thing. I don't know what the point of that is. And I don't even know if it's valid because Script for Samsung doesn't have any announcements like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything
for its subscribers. And, now that being said, even though it bills itself as being the best place for like everything, all the books, all the audio, whatever you're kind of looking for, and unlimited. Have you hit your limit yet?
Limit? There's a limit?
There is a limit. I know.
No, I definitely haven't hit it.
Yeah.
What's the limit? Is it a memory limit or is it a time limit or?
So it's the amount of books that you read or audiobooks that you go through within the month. Like if you max out, then they'll throttle you and say this book is available from like the 28th of September or the 28th of October, something like. Somebody sent me a screenshot of it, and I'm always plugging script. Hey, if you want a subscription, like just use my link. You get 2 months for free. It's down there in the in the comment section. It really is down there, and you really will get 2 months of this excellent program. But if you're a super avid listener, you might
they'll throttle you.
Dang. If you're a casual reader, kind of like myself, or you listen to the same thing again and again, to kind of listen to like the fifth
clarification
time, the sixth time, clarification, or really want to internalize some of the things that you read, it shouldn't be an issue. Like I kind of listen to it just about every day. And it's only on like certain things because Script has to pay a royalty to the author for whatever things people actually listen to.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so they're watching their costs too.
Hitting the upper limit of Script. I didn't know that there was a limit. That's kind of crazy. So if you want to challenge yourself and you want to try this, it's kind of like what is it? The kill screen for Pac-Man. It's like you get up so many levels. Pac-Man, the arcade game, the original. You get to like so many levels, and then there's like the kill screen, which is like all glitch. Like the level's basically all glitched out. Or not Galaga, Space Invaders. Space Invaders? No. Not Space Invaders. It's not Galaga.
That's like side scrolling.
Galaga's not side scroll. It's vertical, isn't it? Vertical scroll.
Was it? Or
Galaga? No, Galaga's side scrolling. But there's a arcade game where you're trying to shoot down. It's not called. I don't think it's called Asteroids. No, it's not called Asteroids. But you're trying to shoot down all of the missile crisis.
You're like on the ground shooting.
Yeah. If you get to like the kill screen, where it's like everything basically goes black, and that's it. So it's kind of finding these upper limits to where, I didn't have any more cartridge space.
Everything goes black in this game over, or you just out of
luck? It's like the final. It's kind of game over, but it's also one of those things where it's like urban legend, and then it actually does exist. To where if you get there, that's kind of like, you beat the game. Like you conquered the game. There's no more code. You conquered the game,
Okay.
This is way back.
When you beat Pokemon Red, and this is before we go on our thing, you beat Pokemon Red, and then you get into that Hall of Fame room, and the dude has nothing to say to you, so then you go over to the left, and then go to the back room behind that, up to the left.
What?
That place.
Oh no, you're talking about the one of the exploits?
It's a bit of an exploit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never. So
I'd be well. Sometimes, if you look in some of these magazines or game facts or one of these different places, you can get some help. Which brings us to today's first topic: enrolling the help of others. Right,
enrolling.
You saw what I did there. It's kind of clever. Hopefully, this chapter 5 was really looking at almost bankrupting the business, right? That's what Mr. Fiza mentioned at the beginning, and he had a really interesting career. Like one thing that he mentioned, he's working for PepsiCo, and one of PepsiCo's subsidiaries was Pizza Hut.
Yes,
and so he was managing like part of Pizza Hut. I want to say the East or West Coast. I forgot which one.
West Coast
version, right? And West Coast has these like small delivery Delcos, they call them delivery size Pizza Huts, as opposed to the Red Hut Pizza Huts. Before
Red Roof.
The Red Roof, the Red Hut Pizza Hut. Man, let me take a sip. First off, which one do you have more experience with? Pizza Huts, and this is not just for you, but it's for the whole audience. But I want to know from you.
Yo. Red Roof.
Dining in?
Roof. No, not dining in.
Oh.
But I know that's the one that would deliver our pizzas.
Yeah.
Now I've sat there, shout out Silver Lane. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That Pizza Hut was there for ages, and it was across from a Taco Bell. So it's like they had the market cornered. You think that you got a choice? Nah, this is all going to the same company.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah.
So you did pick up from that Pizza Hut or got deliveries from that Pizza Hut?
So
you never ate in there.
The first personal pan pizza that I've ever had was sitting in that Pizza Hut.
Okay, so yeah, personal pan size. Now they do have personal pan size pizzas here as well at Pizza Hut. Like that product still exists. But there are a lot of Pizza Huts that are also just like there's no dining area. In Japan, they don't have the Red Roof version of it, but they have a small dining area where you can maybe have like a counter, 2 tables, right? And so Reggie was facing with this situation where he needed support. He wanted to get support for the Delcos, but corporate was more in line for the Red Roofs, and he had to get basically the last vote so that he could get better advertising for the Delcos and just do like this big ad campaign, right? So being in a situation where you gotta ask somebody for help, do you experience that at the workplace, and what's it like?
Yes. Definitely. I don't like to think that I know it all. And if I'm having a hard time,
You do.
I don't. No, not at all. Not at all. I definitely look towards my seniors and even my juniors, because my seniors have more experience, but my juniors have a newer mindset. So I'll see, okay, how was it done in the past? Is that feasible for this problem that I'm having? Maybe I need to go to the newer people that came in to get a fresh look, a fresh pair of eyes. So I do. But sometimes it doesn't go as expected. Sometimes, I'm busy. I really can't field your questions right now. So, okay, well, it makes sense. We're all busy.
Yeah.
But Yeah, definitely ask for help as much as I can. I mean, and if it's not from my coworkers, then I'll talk to my supervisor. Hey, this is the plan that I'm thinking about for this client. Is it something that's okay to do? Do we need to rework it? Oh yeah, well, this one piece needs to be reworked, or oh, you know what? Cool. I'm behind you on that 100%. But getting that feedback definitely helps.
No. It's not pushback. This is not pushback. You know, pushback central. I have that as one of my nicknames. But
wow.
How do you end up with that name? No, I'm just wondering, in the age of like internet communication, text messages, and all that type of stuff, when you ask for help, do you bring it in close and say, "Hey"? Like, is it a direct conversation, or are you kind of at a distance? You just kind of type something to them and expect something back?
No, for the most part,
feel more comfortable with.
Well, the way that my office, the way that the office is set up, is all 5 of us sharing one big room.
Oh,
so it's like, hey. So sometimes usually I won't type it, because it's going to be a lot faster if I just say, hey, do you know about this client? Have you had this client before? What's going on with that? Versus typing it out, hoping that they see it before like they go on their break or this and that, and then just be waiting for a response. It's a little bit faster. Or we use WhatsApp in the office too. So, hey, this client's here for you. But usually WhatsApp or word of mouth is faster.
Okay. Now, is everyone? Now, it's it feels faster for you, but do other people prefer to get their like requests or those types of things? Because everyone's focusing on their own thing, right? So, do they prefer to get their requests, digitally, so they can address them one at a time when they have time, or it's like, all right, everybody's cool with hit me anytime and break my concentration?
It varies. It definitely does vary. Because some will just be willing to put a pause in, stick a pin and, hey, let me address this. Okay, jump back. And we kind of have that rapport to where it's not like, oh, I expect you to drop your stuff. It was like, no, you're in a not that you're in crisis, but you're in a situation where like you can't move forward. Yeah, I may be in flow. I'm like, okay, all right, getting stuff done, but this issue is prohibiting your flow. So I'll stick a pin, address the issue so that I can get back into flow, and then hopefully you can get back into flow, and so everybody's flowing nice. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, and do other people have a vested interest in helping out others with their tasks, or is it like a team effort, or individual recognition is actually the only way to like maybe get a raise? Or is it the team gets a raise, or individuals?
Nobody gets a raise.
Nobody gets a raise.
Nobody gets a raise. It's kind of weird. The company just doesn't. You don't get a raise. The only raise that you get is for being there for so many years now, and that's a new thing. Like before, there was no monetary compensation. You were here for another year. Okay, you get a raise. That's it. But now it's like, oh, you were here for 5 years. Here's a little extra one-time payment, and that's it. It's man.
When the company feels like it, or when the person feels like Reggie mentioned that it's really important for us, or for him, to sell your ideas. Try to understand what problems the other person is facing and how you can solve those problems, and then get that person to kind of vouch for you. So if it comes to a raise, all right, well, if I had a raise, then I could devote more time to these types of things, which you need me to work on, and you need the team to work on. Like, we should devote more energy, time, and resources, money, towards that task. Is that a matter? Is that the type of thing that you need to sell, or people do sell in order to, make it clear to the higher ups that we need to put more resources on this?
Well, I think that it's different than most other companies because we are funded by grants. Usually with grants, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room, because when you get the grant, it tells you, okay, this much can be allocated towards salaries, this much can be allocated towards resources, this much can be allocated towards, and there's some wiggle room as far as redistributing those numbers, but salaries is never something that's redistributed. I don't think that it's something that can be redistributed in the terms of the grant.
Who vies for the grant? Like, who puts
the company vies for the grant? Yeah, but it's different. It's so different across the board because there's so many grants that come in to the company. So what's okay for one grant might not be okay for another.
Okay.
So company wide, there was that whole like, oh, if you work here for 5 years, then you get an extra stipend, one-time payment thing.
Yeah.
And that's company wide. That's coming from the company, not from the grant or the grant holders, which are us, but usually the manager is the grant holder type thing. Okay. It's a little strange.
So does the manager apply for the grant?
Usually they have to have their hand in it some way, somehow. Sometimes if there's a new grant, then you might get a couple different managers working on a proposal. And then once that grant is done, then the manager has that grant. But if that manager doesn't specialize in grant writing, it's still possible for somebody else, to metabolize the grant and say, hey, I would like to ask for X, Y, and Z. Can we make that happen? Okay, cool. Let's try to write that into the grant. And then,
Okay.
From my understanding, I'm not a manager, so.
Okay. But I mean, as you there in a place for a certain period of time, like, go in the direction of management, training others first, and then managing others' time, managing resources, getting more resources for the purpose of the organization. Like, if you believe about that purpose, then those some of those leadership type roles start to become more attractive, or you might find yourself fulfilling some of those functions that, if you just had the name next to it, it's like, oh, well, I am a manager. Or I should be a manager because that's what I'm doing. But managers, they always have to be in sales. So my question is, where you are right now, what you selling, Willis?
I'm selling people. Technically, I have to talk them up. I have to talk about them and then pitch them in their situation to somebody else to take a chance on them with the help of the program. So it's kind of like when somebody says, don't sell yourself short, or you need to sell yourself. I'm helping the client to sell themselves. To put their best foot forward, to look nice and shiny, and give them resources and things to help better them in the long run.
Help their case,
Yes.
Okay. I mean, this last couple of weeks, I've been thinking about that topic of, are we all in sales?
Yeah.
Did you imagine yourself being in a sales position when you applied to your organization? Did you think
be in sales? Oh gosh. Yes and no. Because in the previous, it was all about sales too.
Oh, really?
Well, not about sales, but the same thing I'm doing now.
Right.
So yeah, that was part of my interview was sell me this pen. So
wow, that was in the interview?
That was in the interview. Sell me this pen. Okay, well, you know what? This pen here is better than any other pen that you have in your office because of the way that it glides. Not only is it a nice writing utensil, but the ink dries a little bit faster. So because of that, you can sign your signature and walk away without thinking, oh, is it going to smudge? Is it going to be not ineligible, illegible. There we go.
Yeah.
So things like that, I brought up about the pen, and I had to sell it to 3 people. So the manager was there, but I had the whole team.
Yeah, the understudy
was there, and I sell me this pen. Okay, well, it turns out that they had to go through the same thing when they did the interview, which I didn't know.
So they tried to put you on the spot, but you didn't have a problem selling it, right?
Oh no, and I made up some stuff on the spot. You got to.
You know, I found myself in a similar situation when I applied for my last job, not this one. Although I think that's selling too. You have to sell yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, they asked me if I could see myself as a teacher. I said, yeah, sure. Okay, do a lesson right now. Oh wait. Okay, so as a teacher, am I selling? Is this business? So I sold Hartford.
Ooh.
Right off the bat. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Hartford. Hartford? Do you know Hartford? Oh no, I don't know where it is. Blah, blah, blah. I just got into the name Hartford, like being the heart, the deer. Fording the river, Connecticut River. And they learned something new. And I got them to repeat it and say it at the end and what it means. And I was like, okay, yeah, right. So you guys know when you go to the States, first place you're going is, and they're like, Hartford. All right, good.
They're like, that place is so small. Can anything good come from Hartford?
Actually, right. But that's sales too. Now how about the cloth?
The cloth.
I have to ask the man in the cloth. We over here on cross.
We're not on cross culture.
Oh, we talking about cross culture. Do you have that? Is that a sale?
Yes and no. Anything that you have to do to convince somebody else, you're selling it.
Right.
Jesus himself.
For their own good.
Jesus himself, he went and he listened. Then he talked. Then he proposed a better way of life. It wasn't that he went in there and said, hey, you guys are living wrong. He was like, no, let me hear what everything is going. Okay, and then we're going to fix that problem. Okay, this is how we're going to fix that problem. Whether it be food, whether it be healing, I got you. Now, I want to tell you that this is a better way of life for you. Go and sin no more. So that's the correction. Like, okay, this will be better. If you can implement this in your life, it'll be better. Okay. So I'd say yes, a little bit of sales. I've gone door to door with books, literally had to sell them. Yeah. So
yeah, some people want it, some people ain't trying to hear it. I wonder about his sales skills to the Sadducees and the Pharisees, because these guys, man, they were getting lit up. I don't know if they're still selling. They
were just hard sells. Not all of them, but they were pretty hard sells, because you have Nicodemus. Yeah, Nicodemus. He was like, yo, I got to talk to this Jesus dude, because he's spitting some truth. Let me go in the middle of, not the middle of the night, but after nightfall. And some people say, oh, well, he didn't want other people knowing that he went. It's like, well, maybe he just wanted a more intimate setting, a more face to face. I imagine them being by a little fire, maybe having a little bit of lamb and just talking over some of the issues of the heart.
Right.
Not so much so like, oh, we need a secret meeting of the Sanhedrin. No, that came later. But just like, hey, face to face, want to be intimate. This is the most intimate thing that you can do outside of becoming one is sharing a meal with somebody.
Right.
So if you even a little chips and salsa type thing, that definitely goes a long way to becoming it. Breaking down some of those walls and seeing face to face, one to one, just.
And that's part of the message for today, right? Before you look to say, all right, well, let's ask for somebody's help, you really just need to understand. You need them to understand where you are, and you need to understand where they are. And the best way to do that is, like you said, get like some coffee or something together and just break some bread.
Yeah.
Put some butter on it. Say, hey, what's going on? What's going on with you? That's what's actually going on for Kudofin. We having monthly meetings, the first Sunday of the month, at the Sound Marsh Cafe. That's where we had the first one. Good turnout. Next month we're looking to double that turnout. And once we reach a proper quorum, then we'll be moving forward on that. So stay tuned. I know some of you have seen the trailer. Some of you are asking questions, and we appreciate that. But making some moves on that end as well. It's really important to again realize that it's not just selling people things, because they get into that mode of like, oh wait a minute, this person's trying to sell me something. Let me just deny it. I don't want any parts of it. No, just understand. Look to understand first. 2 ears and 1 mouth. So a mother said. And other than that, as you're listening carefully, get yourself a pen and pad, write it down, organize your thoughts, and stay tuned. It's your boy Tipsy Japan, telling you that's what it is. Ace, hit it off, man.
You already know, it's your boy Ace of Cross Culture saying thank you for joining us, whether it be in the live comments. We got a lot of new, I want to say faces, but a lot of new icons and names coming into the mix in the live comments. We appreciate that. If you're following up with us on YouTube after the fact, hit the comment section. Let us know what we're doing right, wrong, and different. If you hated it, you loved it, thumbs up, thumbs down. We appreciate it all. Until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed.